Greetings, ladies and gentlemen of the internet. This is Rock and Roll Spot coming at you. A few weeks ago, I mentioned that the possible results of the Disney Fox deal when it came to Marvel properties owned by, or whose movie rights are owned by Fox. Well, today we're following up on that. So, first off, Disney bought a good portion of, purchased all the entertainment portions of Fox. Which means that with the exception of Namor and the Spider-Man characters, Marvel has, well, as of next year when the deal is pushed, finalized, Marvel will have the film rights back to all their characters except with the exception of Namor and the Spider-Man characters. And even then, currently they have a deal with Sony, So, what does that exactly mean for the X-Men and the Fantastic, and more importantly, to be perfectly honest, the Fantastic Four? Because the X-Men actually have an active franchise and have since the year since 2000, we're going to start with them mainly because there's a lot more stuff ground to cover. So first off, there are a handful of X-Men related movies in various states of production, be it post, about to be released, pre-production, or still in production. First and foremost, we got Deadpool 2, which comes out in about a week and a half. It's done. No problem. No change will be made to it, because as far as anyone knows, it'll be released in a week and a half as is. And it'll probably make a shit ton of money. Now, future Deadpool movies, Disney's approach said that they're not gonna mess with the format. They recognize that Deadpool as an R-rated superhero movie makes a lot of money, and so they're gonna leave that alone. Now, Deadpool movies will probably end up being the basis for mutants in the MCU, but you know what? We'll get to that later. So, anyways, next up, New Mutants. Now, New Mutants was supposed to release earlier this year, but it got pushed back to next year. With reshoots being cited, which is never a good thing. I'm figuring it'll probably still release. Much like Deadpool, it will probably be folded into the MCU. Namely because every character is either new or a recasted version who is honestly totally different from the version we had previously. So that makes it real simple. X-Men now. Next up, X-Men Dark Phoenix. Okay. Now, this is my opinion on this. I'd say it's a 50-50 shot that movie will even be released. Again, it was also supposed to release this year. Admittedly, not that by now, but a little bit later on in the year. It has been pushed back to next year. Not a good sign. To be perfectly honest, I feel that it should be dropped from the schedule completely, and Fox should simply take the loss. Mainly as it will make the transition of X-Men movies from Fox to the MCU much easier, without having to deal with the baggage of all the previous X-Men movies, with the exception of, like I said, Deadpool, Deadpool 2, and New Mutants. I think it's a 50-50 shot the movie will be released at all. Hell, maybe it will. And if it does, I really, 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 really hope they don't fuck up the Dark Phoenix saga. Again. Looking at you, Brett Ratner. Next up, we've got Channing Tatum's Gambit movie. Again, this is also 50-50. On the one hand, Marvel Studios and Disney could just keep this in and kind of slip and say, hey, we have some things to say. Or they may sort of say, Channing, we don't think you're right for this. Here's some money. Here's some money. Thank you anyway. And movie is undone. We'll see what happens. But well, apparently it's supposed to start shooting or has started shooting already. Personally, I'm curious, but I don't see Channing Tatum being a physical fit for Gambit. He's too big. Gambit's not a big dude. But like I said, it could, and it could see release. It could just be buried. Finally, we've got a Madrox film, which James Franco wants to make and star in. Again, this is also a 50-50. Now, this one has the additional 50-50 chance that Franco will even continue to be involved if with the Disney takeover, as well, James Franco does have some issues that could get in the way of the movie's success. So Disney might want to say, hey, look, how about you just shuffle on? We'll take over from here. So we'll see what happens. We'll see if it even, as far as I know, Madrox is in pre-production, very early pre-production. So we'll see. Now, Fantastic Four. Okay, so nothing is in any state of production, but the Marvel Studios will probably, as soon as they possibly can, get started on an MCU reboot of the franchise. Because hey, the FF is Marvel's first family. I mean, it's been just so weird having. It has been kind of jarring having Marvel, a Marvel Cinematic Universe without the FF. Hell, any time that it's come up that there's gonna be some negotiations between Fox and Marvel, everyone just assumes right off that they're gonna go for those FF rights, but no. And hell, after the debacle that was Fantastic, you'd think that would have been an easy sell. Like, okay, fine, just take them. So, anyways, the prediction on that, I mentioned it earlier. I was gonna, prediction for how everything will be worked in. So, the way I see it, Deadpool will probably be folded into the MCU. It's kind of it was always in the MCU. I mean, look, the climax of the first movie is on a helicarrier, a bombed out helicarrier, but a helicarrier. Who uses helicarriers? Oh, S.H.I.E.L.D. Anyways, so that means that the version of Colossus that shows up in Deadpool and Deadpool 2 is completely different from the version of Colossus that showed up in the various X-Men movies. Negasonic Teenage Warhead never showed up in the X-Men movies. Same with Domino, Cable, Shatterstar, Bedlam, so on and so forth. So I think we're pretty much that's going to see that's going to be the springboard for introducing mutants into the MCU. The rumored X-Force movie will probably be pushed back in favor of, initially at least, an MCU X-Men movie, which will introduce several more recasted X-Men, including more than likely Wolverine, who will possibly end up in in an X-Force movie, because, to be perfectly honest, Wolverine was the leader of at least two iterations of X-Force recently that were actually very well received by fans. The X-Men movie will explain that S.H.I.E.L.D. has been covering mutants up from the rest of the world, keeping them a secret, with Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. kind of backing this up. In fact, I would not be surprised at all if you got a scene with Coulson mentioned that he's going to be, having to go look in the files for the mutant files, and he starts to say, "I'll go check in," and then May says, "No, don't you even say that." Like, what? It's fun. And she'll just glare. It's like, you call fun out of life. Anyway, that's okay. All of this has been, keep in mind, is complete conjecture, my thoughts only. Just me. Nobody else. Well, there may, I might, the opinion might be shared by others, but these are my opinions on it. My opinions, my thoughts, all that. I have no inside information. It'd be kind of cool if I did, though. But I don't. So, anywho, that's all I got for today. As always, feel free to follow me on social media. My links to my Facebook and Twitter, as well as Patreon, are in the description box down below. Of course, feel free to like, share, and subscribe. And that's all I got for today. Should be seeing you guys tomorrow. It's Rock and Roll Spock signing off, saying live long and rock hard.